Oh,
right.
crap.
Oh.
I'll try to get ready by the time it starts going. We're not hosting anyone right now. That's weird. Okay, now we're live. Here we go.
My TV not on.
Good day, Internet.
Good day, Internet.
Good day, Internet.
Hello, Internet.
This is the pre-show for Daily Tech News Show, but so much more fun. In fact, if you are a patron and a member of our Discord, you will occasionally get to hear varying lengths of us getting ready for Good Day Internet, where we talk about Joan Osborne, as we said today.
Right. Yeah, that's a thing. Who remembers that song?
What if?
Well, we all remember, but who of the greater GDI community remembers that song? I was telling the guys that I never liked that song. I found it irksome, but it's very popular.
I
think it's
I
think it's because the lyrics were actually not that articulate. They were very repetitive and
they were very
just
written
stupid
by a stoner.
Yeah. No, well, it's not even. Yeah, like
what if God was a slob? I don't know. What if he was?
Would he look like the Big Lebowski, or would he look like my next door neighbor, George?
Like, what if he was just a stranger on the bus trying to make his way home?
God was a human, guys.
He was.
What's her name? Joel Sobiel? What's her name?
Joan Osborne.
Oh, Joan Osborne.
Yeah.
No relation to Ozzy, right?
Not that we know of. No.
No.
Could be distant.
I don't think.
Could be distant. Yeah. Entirely.
Well, spelled differently.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Right. Well, so it'd have to be real distant before the spelling diverged.
Tom was right though. It's total like stoner music.
Yeah.
It's like right up there with Spin Doctors. That's I don't understand how you can enjoy that music if
Two Princes.
Hold on. Two Princes is a great song.
Oh, I hate that song. It's so annoying.
It's a great song.
Also not a stoner.
How can you not bop? That's a bop song.
Yeah, that's a peppy song. That's not a I'm thinking about deep thought song.
Yeah, like what if God was a person just trying to get home?
That's what I said.
I still like. I don't like the song. I'm not a fan of the band, and I don't like that.
Okay, but that's fine. We're not trying to make you like Spin Doctors.
That's the boppy.
Maybe you took some uppers at the same time he was on.
I think the only similarity between Joan Osborne and Spin Doctors is that you don't like either one.
Right.
Spin Doctors were not trying to make some sort of like a point about God.
Yeah.
All right. What about Crash Test Dummies?
I like the Crash Test Dummies. Don't you be talking back about that.
Oh, is that Scott's guilty pleasure?
That's my
Superman song.
I like that song. Yes, that Superman song is really good.
It's starting to get closer to Joan Osborne.
Yeah, we're getting into emo territory.
Yeah, I don't know why I like the one and not the other, but I do like those guys for some reason.
Because it feels less pretentious.
What about Blues Traveler? I always put Crash Test Dummies in Blues.
I always loved Blues Traveler. I'm sorry,
they overplayed that one song, and that's ruined the entire band for me.
Why do you want to give me the run around?
You should give him.
That's a great song.
You should give him a second chance, Roger. Don't let one song ruin everything.
The problem wasn't the song; it was that Joe Popper, or whatever his name is,
John Popper.
He used to be like 400 pounds, and that's how I see him. And now he's all healthy and skinny, but I can't take him seriously anymore.
And he had the bandolera of harmonicas.
So you won't allow him to change, Scott?
That's what I mean. It's like
Scott's like he lost weight. You're out.
No, remember
you're out of my life.
So Seinfeld's Wayne Knight lost a bunch of weight, and nobody cares about Wayne Knight anymore. Like if Chris Farley had lived and decided to go on a diet, we'd all be going, "Hey, what are you doing?"
What about Jared? Oh, I guess he has other problems. Never mind.
Yeah, he's got other.
Jared's in prison, I believe.
That's a little much.
Yeah, sorry.
All right.
Actually, no. Wait, Horatio Sands from SNL. He lost a bunch of weight too, and he looks really weird to me because I always picture him as a slightly.
Man, y'all are hard on people. They're just getting healthy.
The thing is, shouldn't
you were cool when you were fat. How could you?
No, it's not that I'm shaming you. It's just he looks different to me. So when I see him, it's always jarring.
And I hate things that are different. I reject them.
It's true. I do reject.
Wait, let's talk about Blues Traveler more. Run Around was the song that I remembered.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
See, that's the thing.
They have like
No.
really, really big songs. Don't they?
I don't remember. I remember the one that was in Kingpin. What song was that in that movie Kingpin? That was a great movie.
Ugh. Kingpin with Woody Harrelson.
I love that.
Woody Harrelson and Bill Murray.
Yeah, Bill Murray was in that.
That's what made
really.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd forgotten that.
I didn't like that movie.
I milked your cow for you. We don't have.
Wow. No, you're right. That's crazy. I totally forgot that.
It's a stupid movie, but it's the only Farrelly Brothers movie I actually laugh at. I think
yeah.
They don't have that many funny movies, I guess.
All right. Well, I guess I'll look up Blues Traveler because nobody else will.
For the GDI Twitch chat room, it's not that I hate them. I just say I find it very jarring when I see them because I picture them in a different way. Heaven forbid.
Yeah. It's just they don't meet Roger's ideals for what humans should look like. That's all.
Most humans don't meet my ideal for what humans should look like.
It's
so
not
you're all
hate.
in good company.
Oh my Lord.
Listen, I think everyone should look like the little engraving on the gold record that they plastered on the side of Voyager, Pioneer, and the other Voyager.
Like no clothes, just
and the other one.
A dot for a belly button.
And then like a very simplified form of where our planet is and our coordinates. So when the invasion begins, everyone knows where to meet up.
I see.
Please come to our door. We're defenseless. Our technology, our most advanced technology, sits before you on this gold record album. Let us play you a tune.
Can you imagine if instead of like Europeans sailing sailing west and finding North America, what if they had just found a message in a bottle that said, "Hey, there's a bunch of people over here. You should come find us. We totally have different technology than you."
That's right.
This is our alphabet, or a close approximation to it. Jaguar head.
Dear Leif Erikson, please come visit.
Oh, crap.
Signed, not Leif Garrett.
Oh, Leif Erikson. That's just a deep cut.
Yeah, Leif Erikson and Leif Garrett, two different people.
Yeah. One of them
to
pop
be
music
clear,
star, other one not.
Yeah.
One
I
historical.
don't think Leif Garrett turned out that well. If memory serves,
he never sailed west to discover a new land.
Well, I think he ended up on celebrity rehab or something.
The universe, and if aliens will invade us.
Leif Erikson's biggest hit was "I was here first," says the Reverend Punk.
Why would anyone want to invade us anyway? I mean, it's not like you can't get the stuff that's on our planet somewhere else.
Can't you though?
We have a lot of water.
Yeah, but so does Europa.
We're a good place.
Europa has a lot more water than Earth, and it's
does it though?
Yeah. From what I understand, there's more.
It's frozen.
That's even easier to. It's easier to cut and slice. You don't need to pump.
Are you sure about that?
I think
Roger, you say things sometimes, and they're often true.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Let's find out if this is one of them.
Europa has more water than Earth. Blues Traveler talked about it in a song. I said Europa.
Scientists think there is an ocean within Jupiter's moon Europa.
Europa is thought by scientists to harbor even more water than all of the Earth's oceans combined.
Okay, it's slightly different than what you said. We think it has.
All right, we think it has.
And if I'm an invader, I can be like, I can see that. Well, that planet has a bunch of water. That one might have it. I'm going to the one that definitely has it. It's already melted too. It's great.
But you would want it frozen anyway because it'd be easier to tow. You would just cut out.
If it's there, but then you got to mine for it. Then you can just flash.
But then you would have to fight us, and although I'm sure it would take less than a year, you
would
have
about
to.
the Europans? You have to fight them.
I don't know.
Europans? Is that what would be called Euro? Wouldn't they be Euro? Wait,
Europans.
Europeans.
Europeans.
I think so. Europeans.
Not Europeans.
Not Europeans.
If 2010
that's different.
is any guide to what lies beneath the surface of Europa, it's just an octopus with lights.
Wow.
That's where octopuses came from.
Dang. Octopi, Tom.
Octopi.
Octopi.
Yeah, and guess what? It only has 7 arms.
You had me at pi.
You had me at 3.14.
Yeah. You had me at 8 pies.
I wouldn't mind 8 pies.
Yeah, I did.
I wouldn't either. Best thing I, as Akhtar and Liz Romero, ever did at their wedding was have 8
pies.
Wait, what?
Yeah, pie. Oh,
like that was like a wedding pie, or that was like a dinner pie?
Quite a few pies.
Mm.
Quite a few pies.
It was close to 8.
I had a fraction of one slice of one pie. It was great.
I had a full slice of strawberry rhubarb.
Oh, that sounds good right now.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, they made me think that all rhubarb was going to kill me if I ate it. So I never
really. Oh, that's a tragedy.
I know.
Well, don't you have to just cook it so it doesn't poison you? Like,
yeah. No, Scott. Who hurt you? Who said this to you?
I think it was my mom, because we had some in the yard, and one of our dogs.
Call social services. I don't care how old he is.
They got really sick. I don't think they died, but the dogs got really sick once, and I think I just built a paranoia about it.
So your mom thought rhubarb was just bad.
She would. I mean, that's the funny thing is she'd still make it. We'd have a pie or something. I would look at it and go,
"You might die, son."
Yeah. Like
rhubarb toxicity.
So wait a minute. This was more like a test. Have as much pie as you want. It might kill you.
The leaves contain.
Eat up, Scott.
She probably just didn't want you to eat. What Roger said. She probably didn't want you to eat the leaves.
Yeah, they're
right. I think that's probably it. And I probably at like 6 or 7 years old just took everything too far in my head, and like you do.
It is thought that both fatal and non-fatal cases of rhubarb poisoning have not been caused by oxalates, but rather by toxic glycosides.
Well, I think we've talked about this on a previous GDI. My mom made a great rhubarb tart when I was growing up.
My grandma used to make rhubarb pie.
Yeah. Which was rhubarb and strawberries.
It's how they pruned the family tree.
They go well together. Like
we did talk about this because I had rhubarb and strawberries.
It was never sort of like
in my backyard.
You might get like poisoned. No, it was like a lovely dessert.
But I do remember my parents telling me not to eat the rhubarb out of the garden like you could with the strawberries. They were like, wash the strawberries, then you can eat them. Rhubarb, don't eat it. We cook it. And I was like, oh, okay. They never told me it would kill me.
Well, I think isn't that the same thing with potatoes? Like when they turn green, you're not supposed. They're like poisonous. They're
toxic. Anything that turns green, pretty much.
But I mean, like
what about broccoli?
Yeah. What about
okay.
spinach?
If it wasn't green to start with, and it turns green, probably don't eat it. For example, potatoes. Don't eat a green potato.
Yeah.
What about those beans? They were yellow and then they turned green. Then my dad picked them and fed them to me.
Nope.
Not into
green M&Ms. They started out a powdery chemical.
Now he's got you.
Got you there.
Still yummy.
I mean, I like a potato. I don't like it green. I think that's a fair statement.
No.
I like fried green tomatoes.
If they're done,
I do as well.
Whether they're at the Whistle Stop Cafe or not, I don't care.
Decent movie too, you know.
Oh yes, that's
great movie, a real tearjerker.
Yeah, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
one of those I could get my head around and not feel too bad about watching. You know, when I was in my manly stage and I wasn't supposed
Mostly when I think of Austin, I miss the Tex-Mex because it's the best version of that.
Okay, Tom.
But
watch out.
Well, you have a better version of Tex-Mex than Austin?
I have a better version of tacos.
That's not what I said. I very carefully said the best version of Tex-Mex.
That's why I said tread carefully.
Yeah. I did because I didn't want you to at me, bro.
Yes. Well, and also Tex-Mex is considered its own unique cuisine. Of
the Tex-Mex subdivision, Austin, I feel like, has the best. Which you could argue San Antonio is real good too, so maybe there's a fight there. But my whole point of bringing that up is one of the things I forget I miss about Austin sometimes is the Southern food, the chicken fried steak, fried green tomatoes, grits, all that good stuff.
The fried green bananas. Or is that plantains? I don't know. They fried it. It was delicious.
Yeah.
Kim just made grits this morning. They were fantastic. They're Mississippi style, but still pretty good.
Yeah.
Cheese grits? Or just butter?
Lots of cheese, lots of butter.
Yeah.
What kind of cheese? Is it just cheddar, or do you just?
No, it's Oh, geez, I should know this.
Oh, we'll find out after the show.
For her, it's not cheddar. I just can't remember what it
is. It can be cheddar.
For the answer to this question, please stick around to GDI, the post show.
The answer may surprise
we have a jam-packed Daily Tech News show to get to, so
let's
do it. Here we go. 3, 2. Coming up on DTNS, Amazon announces new smart everything. Oculus tries to wow VR fans with its announcements, and Match.com gets sued by the government. This is the Daily Tech News for Wednesday, September 25th, 2019 in Los Angeles. I'm Tom Merritt.
And from Studio Feline, I'm Sarah Lane.
In Salt Lake City, in a VR environment, I'm Scott Johnson.
And I'm the show's producer, Roger Chang.
We were just talking about cheesy grits and a lot of other food-related items on Good Day Internet. There's always good talking going on Good Day Internet. You get that wider pre-show of us getting ready for Daily Tech News Show by becoming a member at patreon.com/DTNS. Let's start with a few tech things you should know.
eBay announced that CEO and president and company director Devin Wenig is stepping down, with former chief financial officer Scott Schenkel taking control on an interim basis. Wenig has served as president since 2011 and replaced John Donahoe as CEO in 2015.
Check this out. Apple released tvOS 13. This added multi-user support, a refreshed home screen with full screen video previews, a control center, a new picture-in-picture option, and it also supports a new little thing that I'm super in love with called Apple Arcade, which also includes support for Sony's DualShock 4 controllers and Microsoft's Xbox controller, the wireless Bluetooth controller that they have on the current Xbox One. And I can confirm both those controllers work, as does the Apple TV, swimmingly.
The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has charged Comscore and its former CEO Serge Mata of fraud. Comscore is one of the main companies responsible for measuring internet traffic and is accused of misreporting the value of data swapping contracts, as well as misreporting customer signups to give the impression of growth in revenue and signups when both were decreasing. Mata and Comscore agreed to settle the case by paying a combined total of $5.7 million without having to admit wrongdoing. Mata will also repay $2.1 million to Comscore and is now banned from serving as an officer or director of a public company for 10 years. Mata left Comscore back in 2016.
TF Securities analyst Ming-Chi Kuo says that next year's iPhones, if you want to think about the iPhone 12 at this point, will have a metal frame with a more complex segmentation design, new trenching and injection molding procedures, and sapphire or glass cover assembly to protect the trench injection molding structure. Kuo also says the design will be similar to the iPhone 4. You can remember that. Kuo believes that the design will be more expensive to make, but along with 5G will increase iPhone shipments to 85 million in 2020 from the expected 75 million in 2019.
Google will now only show news headlines from European publishers and search results for French users, rather than headlines with a few lines of description, called a snippet often. A new EU rule that one of those copyright directives requires search engines to pay news outlets in order to show snippets and thumbnail images unless the publisher comes to another arrangement with the search engine. And France is the first of the EU countries to implement the new copyright directive. EU countries have a year to do so. They just got it done quick. All right, let's talk about the U.S. Federal Trade Commission. Scott.
All right, let's do that. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission, as you mentioned, filed a lawsuit against Match.com, dating, alleging Match sent notifications to non-paying subscribers for messages from accounts that Match knew were fraudulent. Fake accounts. The FTC alleged Match received 499,691 new subscriptions as a result of the fraudulent communications between June 2016 and June 2016 and May 2018. The FTC further claims messages from fraudulent accounts were not sent to paying subscribers. The suit also alleges Match made canceling subscriptions very difficult, did not seem to honor a 6-month guarantee, and locked people from accounts over disputed charges. Match.com disputes the claims, and they intend to fight the allegations.
It's a key to note here that Match is not accused of creating the accounts. It's saying they knew the accounts were created by somebody as a bot or a fraudulent scam, they didn't stop them from creating the notifications for the free users.
And let's remember that this is not sort of like your average social network. This is a dating site, right? So if a person who's like, well, I don't want to pay for anything, but somehow, Match.com is now sending me emails being like, oh, people are very interested in you. You should, get into that. Like that whole thing is, I think, it is sort of a like phishing scheme that is tough for people to opt out of, right? Based on the nature of what this is.
Right. It would be easy for me to believe that this is not some conspiracy, that Match realized that these accounts were sending notifications and prioritized its engineering to fix the ones to the paying subscribers first, before making sure that the free subscribers, knowing that that might encourage people to sign up. So we'll get around to fixing it. It'll be interesting to see how that comes out.
As somebody who, I won't give full disclosure. I won't tell you who it was, but they're defunct now, so it doesn't really matter. But I worked for a dating site company in 2004 and 2005, and we did this all the time. I shouldn't say we did, but people at the top did this all the time. We would see a bunch of new accounts come in. We would know that they looked fishy or outright knew they were fake or they were, someone trolling or whatever, but we kept them in because it helped them say with some accuracy, we have this many users, or every month we obtain this many new users. It was a really common practice, and I would be shocked. I mean, I'm not going to say that's what Match is doing, but it wouldn't surprise me if the whole of that industry doesn't dabble in that a lot more than we think.
Yep. Agreed.
Google released an open source database of 3,000 manipulated videos to be used to help research in detecting deepfakes. Google recorded 28 actors speaking, making common expressions, and doing mundane tasks, then used publicly available deepfake algorithms to alter those videos. A dataset of manipulations of YouTube videos was released in January by Technical University of Munich researchers, and Facebook plans to release its own dataset by the end of the year.
No, this is great. This is good news. We're happy to see Facebook announce this earlier. And of course, the Technical University of Munich research are doing this. So getting more of these data sets out there for people to work on. It's not going to solve the problem with deepfakes, but it's certainly going to help, which is good.
Yeah,
it's certainly going to help, especially in the development community.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But my big takeaway from this is it behooves Google and everybody else with a big stake in this game of, tons of users and huge services and whatever, to get out ahead of it and to show that they're doing work without being forced to or told to or regulated to. Because if you don't, that stuff's going to come. Mm-hmm. So for me, this is huge positivity, and I hope others do it as well. You see, some of the stuff Apple does with security, some of the stuff, Facebook tries to do with other things. And I think that's good. Get out in front of it before someone has to tell you that you're doing it. Or at the worst case, you just have a really big PR problem where everyone thinks you don't care. And this is Google saying, well, we kind of care.
Folks, to get all the tech headlines each day in about 5 minutes, be sure to subscribe to dailytechheadlines.com. Let's take a deep breath. And into the Oculus 6 conference news. All right, we're going to break this up a little bit. I'm going to start with the first announcements regarding hardware at the Oculus 6 conference. Then we're going to have a couple more Oculus 6 things, and then on in the Amazon announcements. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced a software update called Oculus Link that will let Oculus Quest users connect their headset to a PC using a USB-C cable, should work with most USB-C cables, and let the Quest play the more graphically intensive Oculus Rift games off the PC, like if you had an Oculus Rift. Oculus Link arrives in November. The Oculus Quest will also implement some deep learning and model-based tracking to use its existing cameras for hand tracking through a software update expected to arrive early next year. That feature will be an experimental opt-in choice for users, so it won't just show up. You'll have to say, I want this. And of course, Oculus showed off a couple prototype headsets. Half Dome 2 is a little lighter than the previous Half Dome prototype, also has a smaller field of view at 140 degrees, but like the first Half Dome, lenses move inside the headset to adjust the focus and give you a little more immersion. And Half Dome 3 doesn't even have moving parts, using a number of stacked lenses to shift through 64 planes of focus.
Can I just say real quick, this Link thing is my favorite headline of the day. And I just think it's amazing that they're going to let people do that. And I'm also happy to hear that somebody's finally admitting that USB-C can do a whole lot more than they sometimes are letting them. And if you're like me and you bought this thing for portability, but you do kind of miss the fidelity you get from a top-end PC tethered to a headset, it's the biggest no-brainer I ever heard of to buy this thing. Like, I just think that's great. It's also a sign that the Quest probably sold pretty well for them, because, making this more accessible across other platforms is a big deal. I just cannot wait for that update.
Or that they're getting rid of the Rift, and this is what they're counting on in the future.
Entirely possible, but if that's the case, and we're not going to lose much in the transition in terms of fidelity, oh man, I mean, that's a big deal. I think this is maybe my favorite news of the last month.
And you're going to get hand control.
Yeah, that part I'm a little more skeptical about, but not because it's, obviously that's where we're heading, and all things are possible with time. But I guess I'm a little surprised that if it's just algorithm tweaking, a new version of the software, machine learning all coming together to figure out a way to make it so your hands are tracked in 3D space, that sounds really cool. But I don't know. In practice, I feel like we're going to have some herky-jerky for a while, and I just need to be shown different. Hopefully that works well.
Of course, Oculus owned by Facebook. So we had a couple social announcements. Facebook announced it'll launch a VR environment called Facebook Horizon in 2020. Facebook Horizon will let you create your own avatars, chat with friends, play games with friends, move around with teleporting between various rooms. Facebook Spaces and Oculus Rooms are going to shut down October 25th. So if you're like, wait, you can kind of do that already? Well, after October 25th, you won't. And you won't be able to do it at all until Facebook Horizon launches sometime next year. And a new Facebook-powered social feature will come to Oculus later this year. Chats will let you message Oculus friends from your headset or outside of it. Event planning for gathering together in VR was also announced. And you'll be able to post to Facebook from Oculus, probably meant for things like clips of your gameplay and stuff like that.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that Facebook Spaces, Oculus Rooms shutting down to be relaunched as Facebook Horizon next year. Whether or not it's going to be the same environment is yet to be seen, but that makes sense that Facebook is like, okay, we're taking this seriously, and we want people to get excited about it.
My big takeaway from that is, having used what's currently there, I always felt like Facebook was holding back a little bit and being too upfront in the service or being too upfront in the platform. I think they thought there was some wisdom in hanging back and sort of being like Amazon is with Twitch. Don't fiddle with it too much. Let Rift and Oculus brand up and be strong on its own. Don't Facebook ourselves in there too much. And I think this actually spells a change in that thinking, that now we're far enough along that they can come in here, create this social space, and tie it directly to Facebook and have that branding and stuff all sort of be together, because they're just not afraid to do that now. But I think there was some hesitance in recent years in front of people.
I think they also realized that nobody was really using Facebook Spaces or Oculus Rooms, at least at the level of engagement that they wanted. And so it might as well just, like you say, Sarah, just shut it down and replace it next year. Now, it's a little weird to not leave it running until you replace it, but that just tells me there wasn't enough people using it to matter. So why not just shut it down, save the resources?
Only ever saw one other human being in there, by the way.
And so there you go. Yeah. And a few more announcements from Oculus 6. Facebook announced it's building augmented reality glasses, along with having the Facebook Reality Labs develop something called Live Maps. So they didn't talk much about the glasses, but they talked a lot about Live Maps. The idea is to recreate the planet in a 3D map so that you won't have to scan your surroundings to overlay things. You'll already know what the surroundings are. It's a big, big project. Live Maps is being built using machine learning, as well as supplemented by geotagged images from the Facebook user base, so they know what the world looks like in various places. That technology is a few years away. What's not a few years away is Fandango Now, launching on the Oculus Go and Oculus Quest headsets to become the place to buy or rent movies and TV shows, or access your previous purchases. Fandango Now is part of Movies Anywhere. So if you buy something on Google that's part of Movies Anywhere, it would show up in Fandango Now and show up on your headset. Fandango Now will feature in the Oculus TV app. It didn't say they're getting rid of the native Facebook Movies thing. If you've bought any of those, they should still be there. But it does sound like they're moving Fandango Now into that space to become front and center. Disclosure, my wife works for Fandango. And finally, Respawn Entertainment revealed Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, a virtual reality take on the classic World War II franchise, coming next year.
Can I just tiny note on that Respawn Entertainment news? Respawn is the company that was Infinity Ward that made the Call of Duty series. Call of Duty, in effect, put Medal of Honor in the grave. And then for like 10 years, those guys did that. And then there was a falling out at Activision, and they left and started Respawn Entertainment. And lately they're known for the new upcoming Star Wars game and the current, I forgot the name of it, but their Battle Royale game is very popular at the moment. I can't think of the name. Them taking over Medal of Honor is the most ironic thing I've heard in a really long time. And that doesn't even speak to whether it'll be good in VR or not. I don't know. There's lots of shooters in VR, and they range from terrible to kind of okay. Nobody's really cracked that egg. So maybe they'll do it. That's a big team, and they're really amazing. But the fact that they're on Medal of Honor, a game they basically killed with Call of Duty all those years ago, is kind of a hoot. And that's all I wanted to say about that bit.
Also, the fact that Facebook was like, well, we don't really want to talk about our VR glasses, but we're definitely going to recreate the world in 3D. The latter part of that, I'm like, that's amazing. I love that. But why don't you want to detail the fact that your VR glasses are, in the works? Because that is a huge selling point that no. Many companies have fallen short.
No, super smart. Don't put something up there that you're not ready to show. Just say, look, we're working on augmented reality glasses. That's all they did. They put the words up on the screen. So we don't have anything to show you, but let me show you what it's going to be able to do. Because if you put the glasses up, put the glasses up too early, then people are just going, oh, it's got this flaw, that flaw, it looks bad. Whereas instead you focus on this is what it'll be able to do, which is impressive.
Perhaps. But I feel like it's like, if it looks crappier than Snap's latest spectacles, then that's why they're not talking about what it looks like.
Well, they're not ready to put it out for a couple of years, so they probably don't even know what it's going to look like yet. Correct. Why show you something where it's not even finalized?
Yeah.
I guess. I just feel like it's a big sell to be like, this is so great, Sarah. Put this on your face. And I would be like, yes, this sounds really great. What does it look like to be put on my face? Don't have any information about that.
Well, because it's not a product yet. That's all that means.
Yeah. It feels like they were just like, hey, that's not all. We're working on some other cool stuff. Not ready to show it. It feels very like it's almost like an E3 presentation from a console company. Is not ready to show their new controller yet or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that stuff comes out in time. It'll be fine.
All right, let's talk about Amazon. We're going to start with the Echoes. The Echo Dot with clock. Brian Ibbett will be very happy. He mentioned about the clock on the morning stream this morning. Has an LED display embedded in the usual fabric cover. The display can show you the time, your timers, your outside temperature, stuff like that. Also lets you tap the top button for snooze. It does not have a camera. Pre-orders are available now for $60. No word on shipping. The third generation Echo, just the good old-fashioned Amazon Echo 3rd gen, has better sound. Neodymium drivers, 3-inch woofer, comes with a twilight blue color option now. Pre-orders have begun for $100. And the Echo Studio, that's the one with the 3D audio support and Dolby Atmos. It can use the microphones to calibrate audio for the room, so it takes into account the echoing and the bouncing off the walls. Has 3 mid-range speakers, a tweeter, and a woofer. Can support stereo pairing with another Echo speaker, and is positioned to work with Amazon Music HD, as well as Amazon saying it's working with studios to get more tracks that support 3D audio as well. The Echo Studio available for pre-order at $199. And then the Echo Show 8, a mid-sized Echo Show with an 8-inch HD display and a privacy shutter. All the Echo shows are getting drop in on all. Lets you group chat with anybody else in your family that has an Echo. Kids bundle called Free Time is coming to Echo Show devices. The Echo Show 8 is available for pre-orders at $130. And this time they said it will ship in time for the holidays. So they give you a rough idea there. And kind of involved with all these Echoes, Amazon will be selling subscriptions to Food Network Kitchen launching in October. It's a service available on your phone, your tablet, your Fire TV, or your Echo Show to offer recipe saving and cooking directions along with live and on-demand cooking classes, kind of like a Peloton for cooking with the likes of Bobby Flay and Alton Brown teaching classes. Service will cost you $7 a month or $60 a year.
Man, how smart is that of Amazon to be like, hey, we're launching a cooking show and we're going to talk about lots of devices that you should probably buy for your own kitchen.
Hungry after your subscription Peloton workout? Make some food with your subscription.
I mean, it is genius. Chef's kiss to whoever thought this one up.
But also the Echo Show has shown to be the perfect, I think for a lot of people, the perfect kitchen device, right? So they're fulfilling a potential need there that everybody bought their Echo Shows for, or that they're going to buy the new ones for, and take advantage finally of that screen. Because honestly, I don't hardly use it, but my wife does constantly for like recipe stuff. She's going to totally do this. Like it's a brilliant way to tie a service into a thing people already have, or maybe upgrading to one of these better ones. It's a smart thing.
All right, let's talk about the Amazon Voice Services announcements. Multilingual mode, which lets people speak one of two languages at this point. It'll support more in the future, but right now, one of two languages without having to switch a setting. So in the United States, you can have English and Spanish on at the same time. Whatever you speak to it, it'll recognize that and answer back. In Canada, English and French. In India, English and Hindi. There's also a neural text-to-speech model that lets the voice be more emotive and expressive without having to rely on recorded phrases, which is the way these voice assistants have usually worked up till now, recording phonemes and mixing them together. It's going to launch with a free Samuel L. Jackson voice, which apparently he didn't record. They just used his recordings to create it. That also has an explicit mode if you want it. And additional celebrity voices are coming next year that you'll have to pay for, 99 cents each. The ability to ask the Echo, tell me what you just heard, is now live. So if it answers weird, you can say, wait a minute. Later this year, you'll be able to ask, why did you do that? And Amazon has added an auto-delete feature to its privacy hub, so you can erase your video recordings after 3 or 18 months automatically. And Alexa Communications for Kids will let parents whitelist contacts that their kids are allowed to talk to on Echo devices. Couple more here. Amazon Voice Services coming to Chevy, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac vehicles in the first half of next year through a software update. So if you have a model 2018 or newer car, you don't have to take it in. You'll just get a software update and get Amazon. And next year, Ring Doorbell Elite users will get a feature to let Amazon Voice Assistant answer the doorbell and talk to the people at the door for you. So that will be fun to see the videos on YouTube once that's done.
Wow, this is getting pretty deep. Scott, are you a Ring doorbell person?
No,
You're not.
I have a camera out there, but it's separate and it's tied into some other stuff. So I kind of am accomplishing a similar goal with what I'm doing, but I never did buy into the Ring thing. It never really convinced me. Are you? Do you have one of those going?
No,
I have one.
I don't. Tom does. Yeah, I mean, okay, so Tom, I mean, this, you know,
let me just stop you right there. No, okay. I'm definitely not going to.
No, all right.
I'm definitely not going to do. I have my Ring on lockdown. It's not allowed to do anything. All it's meant to do is tell me when someone's at the door and let me see who it is, so I can decide whether I want to open the door or not. I don't need Amazon Voice Services to answer for it. It's not going to be good enough at this point. This is a gimmick, I think.
Oh, it's a huge gimmick, and I think I actually think this is going to go no place. I don't think anyone cares about this. Like, it sounds neat on paper.
Yeah. It's
really just them saying, hey, more ways to talk to your Google Assistant. And here's a way that you probably don't need to. I'm zero interest in this.
Let me ask you, Sarah, will you be adding Samuel L. Jackson as the voice of your Amazon?
I probably won't, although, you know, I respect him. Wonderful man. What I do think that people will take advantage of is multilingual mode. I happen to live upstairs from a family who is, you know, English and Spanish. You know, it is a very, this is something that, you know, based on grandparents, children, parents, and people who are, you know, going in and out of a situation where the speaker might be, you know, something that you could get an answer from. That is actually a really big deal.
Yeah.
And I think that'll make a big difference to a lot of families.
I'm noticing, Craigo says he loves Google Call Screen. I'm not imagining that the Ring doorbell working with Amazon Voice Services is going to work as well as Google Call Screen. If it does, it might change my mind. I'm imagining it works the way Amazon works now, in which case it's just going to be a hilarious parade of misunderstandings between the person at the door, because they're not going to quite realize they're talking to an Echo, even if they know what one is. All right, finally, more hardware. So we're gonna go through a bunch of hardware announcements from Amazon. The Ring Indoor Cam pre-orders now for $60. The Stick-Up Cam for Ring for outdoor, which can run off battery, wall power, or through a solar power add-on. You can pre-order that now for $100, so that's cheaper than the previous version. Ring security cameras are going to get a home mode in November, so it'll just stop recording when you're around. That's nice. And the Ring Alarm Retrofit Kit, kind of a DIY thing to integrate into your your home's existing security system hub with a Ring alarm setup. That's coming in November for $200, or you can get it bundled with an alarm hub for $376. Don't forget, Amazon owns Eero. We got new Eero mesh routers, much cheaper, $99 each, or 3 for $249, available in the U.S. today and Europe later this year. They didn't clarify if they're Wi-Fi 6, so I'm thinking they're not. But you can now use voice to turn guest Wi-Fi on and off, or use your voice to pause Wi-Fi access for a specific device, like, pause Scott's Amazon Fire tablet, and it'll cut it off. Those voice controls are not limited to Eero. They're coming from TP-Link, Asus, Linksys, and Aris as well. The Echo Flex is a tiny little voice assistant that just plugs right into your wall outlet. It has a USB port for device charging, includes a slot to plug an additional nightlight or motion sensor. That's $15 each. If you're like, I just want to be able to tell the Echo something, but I don't want to have a full speaker somewhere, this is for you. An API will let developers build other accessories for it too. That's available for pre-order at $25. The Echo Glow is a lamp that doesn't have voice assistant in it, but it pairs with your Echo like a smart device. It can do a sleep timer to gradually dim, play music and flash lights in a dance party mode, can cycle through rainbow colors. Pre-order in the US costs $30. And the Amazon Smart Oven, remember last year was a microwave. This year, it's not just a microwave. It's a smart oven. It can do convection cooking, air frying, food drying, typical microwave functions as well. You can use the Amazon app or an Echo Show to scan food labels from whole food products for automatic cooking programming. Pre-orders today for $250 with a free Echo Dot thrown in for some reason. And finally, Echo Buds. Wireless earbuds with Amazon Voice Services and Bose noise reduction. You just say the wake word, and she'll wake right up. Or you can tap and hold and use your device's native smart assistant, whether that's Google Assistant or Siri or something else. Pre-order the Echo Buds now for $130.
Oh man, there's so much there. I think the Flex is my favorite of these announcements because I do a lot of things that don't even require her to give me an audible answer. Like it's just a beep to let me know I'm good, to turn off some lights, to turn on some lights, to shut down a certain part of the what I have in the house connected to all this stuff. So I think it's great. I would say my overall takeaway again here is that Google Assistant is something they're trying to put in everything.
You mean Amazon Voice Services?
Sorry, I meant Amazon Voice Services. I keep doing that. That's a problem, by the way, but that might be a me problem. But anyway, they want to have it in everything, and they want third-party vendors doing it. They want to put it all throughout their own products. This is the right strategy because you need to, if you really want to win that voice assistant war thing that may come down to it in the future, you got to be the one that put it in the most stuff. And it feels like Amazon's ahead of the game in that regard.
I got to say, the smart oven, I kind of want it.
Yeah, because it can do more than just microwave, right?
Exactly.
I'm not sure how often you're going to use the scanner, even if you do shop at Whole Foods. It's not like, unless they're pre-prepared meals at Whole Foods are looking pretty good and you can just stick them in the oven. I don't know, but maybe that's what we'll take off with it.
Yeah, it could be. And also, I think they throw the Dot in there because this may be a good entry point for people that have never.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I think, because Tom, you were like, what? Why would they do that? I think that's probably why.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yep. All right, but wait, there's more. This is the last of the Amazon announcements. They just went forever, and they were at the same time as Oculus. But we took that hit for you. We're here to help you understand it all. Sidewalk from Amazon is a low bandwidth, long distance wireless protocol meant to connect IoT devices. It has better range than Bluetooth and Wi-Fi at up to a mile, and is apparently more power efficient and simpler to implement than 5F. It uses the free 900 megahertz spectrum, and Amazon will publish the protocol for other device makers to integrate. The first product will be the Ring Fetch, meant to track your dog, coming next year. Amazon also announced the Certified for Humans program to make setting up smart home devices easier. Devices in the program will have a reduced number of steps to connect to Amazon Voice Services, support automatic firmware updates, and a dozen other requirements. That's a thing you can put on your box to say like, hey, if you got an Echo, this will be really easy to set up. And then something called the Day One Edition program, where you have to be invited to buy these products. But if you are, you get to try out some experimental stuff from Amazon. And the first two examples are Echo frames. Those are frames that you can put your prescription lenses in that have an integrated mic and small speaker so that you can talk to it and get voice assistant access through your glasses. $180. and the Echo Loop, a titanium frame or titanium ring that pairs with your phone and has a haptic engine to vibrate. So it's activated when you hit a discrete button, and you can hold it up to your mouth to talk to it, hold it up to your ear to hear responses. And if you get like a phone call or something, it'll vibrate too. $130. Again, these are both through the Day One Edition program that lets you try stuff if they let you. I don't know how you get invited, though.
I want the dog one right now.
I do too, Ring Fetch.
Yep.
That's exactly the whole time I was like, can't wait. Let's
and
try
Ring Fetch is not Day One Edition. That's just coming as an example of a sidewalk protocol device next year sometime.
Yeah,
so you won't
I would just say hurry up with that, because I feel like last night I couldn't find the dog. I don't know where she went. This is just in the house. I'd go for Wi-Fi at this point, but I wish I had a tracker on her, because it turned out she was nestled inside of a little tiny hole full of blankets.
Oh, no kidding.
No idea. And I couldn't find her. So I would love something like that, especially.
Yeah.
But also something like Echo Frames. All right. So, I mean, 2 out of 3 of us, or 3 out of 4 of us, if we're including Roger, are wearing glasses, right? So if you could have the glasses that you already wear, but it has Amazon Assistant enabled capabilities, that's cool, right?
I actually think, maybe they're too expensive for what they do, but $180, that's a lot. But then a pair of glasses often, this is before the lenses. Okay, this is just the frames, but sometimes frames can be that much. So I like the idea that I could have these paired with my phone and be able to get some notifications and stuff. I probably wouldn't use them as much as I think I do, but this seems like a very elegant and very focused use of glasses.
I will say that for $180, it's pretty cheap, because I spend anywhere up to $300 to $400 on my frames.
With the lenses, though, right?
No. With lenses,
you spend $380 for your frames without the lenses?
Yeah.
Dang!
You are fancy boy.
High roll.
Sorry. So $180 is pretty cheap.
No wonder you don't run your air conditioner.
Oh, jeez.
No, but you're right. All kidding aside,
but
Roger,
seriously,
you're right.
if you're spending a lot for all of this already, wouldn't it be cool to be able to, have some smart capabilities that are bundled in?
Well, what Roger needs a little, I don't know, like a tracking device that can latch on to his existing pair of very expensive glasses, so that he doesn't lose it in the same way that we don't want to lose our dogs. See, that's what I want. I want more tracking stuff. And I know some of the stuff exists. I know you can go buy little Wi-Fi trackers and things like this, but I really like this protocol for just, what's the stuff I lose all the time? My glasses, where's my wallet, where's my whatever? And I want to stick one of these on everything. That's how I want my life to be.
That'll be interesting. I like that they're publishing the protocol. I'd prefer it be an open standard. That's all. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks everybody who participates in our subreddit. You might have some ideas about how we can all go forth in the smart glasses world that we're about to live in. Submit stories and vote on others at dailytechnewsshow.reddit.com. We are also on Facebook. Join our group if you haven't already. Facebook.com/groups/dailytechnewsshow. And thanks to Scott Johnson for being with us today. It was a packed day. Scott, what has been going on with you since we last spoke?
It's been pretty nutty. I am happy to show this off, though. I know I've been teasing you guys about it for a while now, but I finally got a full test deck in with my new card game in it.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So
nice. Looking good.
I got to finish up the instructions and a few other little tweaks, but the card game is done. It's here. I play tested it. We're getting ready to get it up on a Kickstarter. Here's what you want to do if you're interested. You can go follow its progress, which is going to be real soon, by the way, this whole Kickstarter thing. If you head on over to frogpants.com/rockrunners, there's an entire page dedicated to it. There's a link at the top of Frog Pants as well once you're on the site. And you can learn more about it, how it plays, where the idea came from, how soon you'll be able to see some video and some other stuff. So go check that out. That's at frogpants.com/rockrunners. And for everything else, follow me on Twitter at Scott Johnson.
Hey, we're getting towards the end of the month, which means this is the last month of the old reward system. Current rewards will be delivered at the end of this month, and then new rewards go up on the Patreon. If you want to know what's changing, head to dailytechnewsshow.com/Patreon.
And if you have feedback for us, our email address is feedback@dailytechnewsshow.com. We are live Monday through Friday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. That's 2030 UTC. And find out more at dailytechnewsshow.com/live.
Back tomorrow with Justin Robert Young. Talk to you then.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Get more at frogpants.com.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
Round of applause for Roger Chang on the timing of today's show.
Yeah, well done.
Absolutely.
Round of applause for Sarah Lane on producing and creating the rundown for today's show.
Well, thank you very much. Round of applause for Tom and Scott for
not
doing the
screwing
show.
it up.
Screw it up or anything. Yeah.
I mean,
you guys were on it. That was good.
Team effort.
I mean,
absolutely.
Honestly, I think all of us, certainly myself, we're looking at this rundown like, how are we possibly going to get all of this?
I know, we're like, this is a weird rundown.
Yeah, we nailed it. Well done.
I think
a couple hours ago, we were like, this is a weird rundown.
Yeah.
Okay, we're doing this, right? Okay.
We were good at narrowing down what the meat of each thing was. Like,
yeah,
it worked out really well.
yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, the Tina Zegon's right. This was a CES level rundown with both these big announcements.
Yeah,
totally was.
Yeah, this was.
And I was just sitting there between 10 a.m. and 11:30, just constantly writing. Like I'd write something and then I'd go look and be like, oh, and they both announced something else. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy day.
Imagine like Google I/O and an Apple keynote the same day or something.
I mean, even at CES, they don't let them have announcements at the same time.
Right.
What's up with that?
It was nutty.
Amazon says, I do what I want.
I do what I want.
You're not the boss of me, Mark Zuckerberg. All right, dtns.showbot.tv to take a look at the titles. We'll pick one now and reveal who created it. We have Alex, cook me dinner. Peloton for cooking. Amazonalanche. I kind of like that one. Mismatched.com. That's funny. Although I wonder what mismatched.com goes to. I'm a little afraid to type that in. Speed talking Tom. I hope it wasn't too bad. Stop there. My answer is no.
You didn't speed talk. You were good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Announcements that lasted forever. Disclaimer: Tom's wife works for Fandango.
Oh yeah, you didn't say it in the thing, did you? Or did you?
I did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, I slipped it in there.
Yeah.
Snakes on an Echo.
Nice.
Ring. Fetch my dog.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was good. I don't know. It's a huge day. It seems like most of the title suggestions are around the Amazon stuff, but I'm cool with that. Amazonalanche is pretty good.
Oh, I like that.
I like that.
Yeah,
Done.
I think that's good.
Well done, Lon Makes, for submitting the title Amazonalanche through using the bang S command in either Discord or Twitch during the show live at 4:30 Eastern. And Good Day Internet titles show up at gdi.showbot.tv.
I'm already very, very excited about what if GDI was one of us.
That's good. Good. We also have the Leaf Garrison does not equal Leaf Erickson.
Also, Scott, who hurt you?
I forgot you said that.
That was genius. Yeah. Death by Pie.
Death
Not
by Pie.
easy eaten green. Not bad. Not
That's
bad.
a good one.
Yeah.
Fried green potatoes.
Otis the miniature horse.
He really is.
But Scott, who hurt you? Yeah. That's
Scott, who hurt
I think that's what.
Yeah.
the Reverend Puck submitted that one. Thank you, the Reverend Puck, for your submission using the bang S command or the bang G command, actually, for this one. All right. We did it. Yay, us.
Yay, us.
Yep.
That was really funny, too. Fun, too. I mean,
Yeah, with all those
it was
things.
funny.
Fun, funny, punny, all of them.
Now, what kind of cheese does she use in her grits?
Ooh.
I'm going to find out. I don't know. I want to say it might be.
The world needs to know.
Well, so hold on. For somebody who's I don't really know how to make grits. What kind of cheese is normally used?
Well, that's a good question. I've had Swiss.
I don't like.
Is it like a cheddar?
I've seen cheddar quite a bit. I've seen Swiss.
All right.
I don't know if I've seen much else.
I've actually never had grits with cheese.
Yeah.
Oh man, really?
So it's been
Swiss cheese and grits.
Good.
You haven't had grits
then.
then. That's the only way to have them. Oh, they're so good.
When
I was a kid, I hated them, but I married my wife, and she changed all that.
As a kid, you hated grits?
Yeah, I didn't like them because I don't think anybody made them very well. They were just who in Utah knows how to
soggy?
make them?
Were they just come out that soggy and bland?
They just tasted like cream of wheat, kind of like they were too plain and boring and kind of hard to say. I really disliked.
I actually kind of like them plain because I had a bunch of other stuff into it.
Well, I mean, yeah, like cream of wheat is so boring, but you add like cinnamon and honey and blueberries and all sorts of fun stuff, and it makes it fun. Or sausages,
because
which
it's
is
a starch,
whole
so
kind of
I throw
other thing.
Throw in protein and a vegetable, and I'm set.
Yeah,
I treat it like rice, really.
Well, I mean, I guess
I'm probably gonna get a lot of.
I guess cream of wheat could be savory. I guess. I've never.
I mean, done
it that way.
It's not sweet on its own.
Yeah,
it's not very sweet on its own. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's actually interesting because I never really thought about it, but it really is kind of like a savory cream of wheat.
It's got a different texture though.
It does. It's a thicker corn. The corn texture is different, but.
Oh yeah, it's like hominy, right?
Yeah. So it always felt like to me like if you didn't put butter or cheese in it.
I need to know more about like what kind of cheese goes into grits. I think this is important. Because cheddar and Swiss, those are different cheeses.
Well, it depends on what depends on what you want your cheesy grits to taste like.
Right, but what's the grits? It can't be Swiss.
Well, grits are not cheese. Cheese grits is like just elevating your game. So at that point, it's a matter of taste.
Oh.
Are you able to find out from Kim, Scott? Did you text her?
Yeah, I just texted her. Yeah. She hasn't answered yet.
Because I'll trust Kim's ruling on this.
Yeah, she makes a hell of a batch. It's really good.
All right.
Because I'm going to say most of the grits I've ever had with cheese in them have had cheddar.
I mean,
who doesn't like
cheddar?
Cheddar
is wonderful.
Yeah, Alton Brown probably goat cheese or something weird.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That dude.
Alton Brown
thank you.
uses cheddar.
Cheddar, really? Yeah. I mean, I feel like cheddar's going to be the most. You're going to get most affirmatives on cheddar.
I think that's your baseline, and then if it's like, yeah, I mean, sure, cheddar is, that's the starter cheese.
Man,
but if you really want good cheese,
I gotta have some cheddar grits tonight.
Yeah,
this looks so good.
It's not just for breakfast.
No. My goodness.
Shrimp and grits is another good one.
Oh, she just answered, and the answer is cheddar. It is
cheddar.
All right.
I think I was confused because she used white cheddar once, which is
maybe.
But it was.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that melts, totally, Zoe.
She says the sharper the better.
Ah, yeah, because you want that flavor to punch through.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah. There you go.
My favorite grits is just with salted butter.
Oh, killing me. That sounds so good.
That's so good. I used to get scrapple with grits at the Bobanitas Cafe in Arlington, Virginia.
Did you call it Scrappo?
Scrapple.
Scrapple.
It's a northeastern kind of sausage. And then because it was right there, on the border between the Mason-Dixon near the Mason-Dixon line, you could get scrapple, but also grits, and they served them together. I'm like, this is the best of everything.
Also, I'm kind of like, I'm having a moment. Like, cream of wheat is grits. It is.
It's
morning grits. It's
wheat.
It's
wheat,
packaged as a morning breakfast thing, but it's the same thing.
It's basically the same thing with a different grain. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but same idea. Like all the things you like about the texture, the consistency, the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's how it's hearty.
What's a wheat cereal? There's
malto meal.
Malto. Well, I was thinking like a flake. Some of the.
Yeah, I was gonna say grape nuts, but that's not flaky.
but like grits are corn, so they're like cornflakes.
Yeah.
Like toasted sugar pops.
Well, the thing is,
Wheaties. There you go. It's Wheaties versus cornflakes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Those are so different, though.
Although
which
grits,
to me are the same thing.
Well, in grits, the
like,
corn
you
kernels
know,
are,
you throw some blueberries and milk in there. It's the same thing.
Or you can
I
put
like that
sausage.
Fred 819 is just chanting shrimp and grits in the chat room.
That's actually pretty good.
Best. Oh my
Savory.
God.
So good.
That sounds.
This would be a good time to let people know that once October 1st rolls around, we will be promising that everybody who's a patron by November 1st will get a copy of the much anticipated Good Day Internet Cookbook. Digital copy, not a print copy.
Yay!
So you have to be at the $2 level. Remember, we're going to a $2 base level. You don't have to change to the $2 level in October if you don't want to, and you'll get all the same rewards. But to thank people who join at the $2 level or who are already above the $2 level, we're going to give everybody on November 1st who's at $2 or above a digital copy of the Good Day Internet Cookbook.
Yay.
So a little advance notice. We'll be talking about this, for everybody, but a little advance notice for the Good Day Internet crowd there. And you can print it. It'll have some cover art from Scott on it.
Yeah, that's right.
So
excited to get that done.
We're not responsible for any weight gain.
We need to add that disclaimer to the front. You're right.
I have some pretty high caloric. I have like a pretty high caloric recipe.
Yeah. What are your recipes in there, Roger?
Mine are the dip and the bachelor loaf.
The bachelor loaf. The sysadmin bachelor loaf.
Although that's, I guess that works.
And big thanks to Chris Allen, who went through and kind of formatted this up and proofread it. And Roger Chang's Spectre Meltdown Attack Chip Dip.
It's really good. It's probably
5 cans of chili. Oh wait, it's only.
Gotta love Chip.
There's recipes of all kinds in here.
There are. Yes, there are.
There's good old-fashioned spaghetti. There's beef stew from Shannon Morse.
Oh,
I'm so hungry.
I'll bet that's really good.
When are they going to make one of those Internet of Thing devices that just cooks it for you? Like, does the cooking, does the prep?
I mean, there are a lot of those, Roger.
That's actually what that smart oven from Amazon is promising.
Yeah.
Is like you just buy your food at Whole Foods, scan it with your Echo Show or your app, and then stick it in the smart oven and press go.
Put it in the thing. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much it's really going to work like that, but that's the idea. That's what my Tavala oven does. They send me meals. I do a very minimal amount, like sprinkle some cheese, put it in there.
And you've been very happy with that, right?
I have been.
I just want to throw in like an onion, a couple of tomatoes, bell peppers, and I'll wash it and that's it. It'll peel, it'll dice, it'll do the rest.
Oh, I see. Because what I have is it's already peeled and diced and in there. You want to start with you want to pick the ingredients yourself. That's interesting. Yeah. Because you're like, I don't trust these companies. I want to pick my produce and then have the machine make it.
Yeah. I want a robot chef.
There's a place for that.
I'm sure it'll be very expensive, but you know what? You'll get plenty of home-cooked meals by 21st century technology.
The chef I want when we finally have automated chefs, I want one of those big industrial like car plant arms that's just in a median in the middle of the kitchen. So it's like you have the counter like the island, and then just
giving you stuff.
Yeah, I'm imagining one that's like has 4 arms, so it can do the mixing while it putting something in or out of the oven. Like it can multitask. And therefore my dinner will be sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
It's really about just eating faster.
Just want to eat.
Listen, I love the art of cooking, but really as a connoisseur, I just like eating.
Yeah. I love the art of cooking. I love the art of eating better. The art of eating. The art of having eaten.
This is weird.
What fun.
I know people who love to cook, but they very rarely. I very rarely see them eat.
I actually know somebody who's the best cook I know. In, just sort of like modern life, and she doesn't work at a restaurant or whatever.
Right.
She never eats.
Well, that's what happened with.
I'm not saying she never eats ever.
Well, no, of course, right.
But like she cooks to feed people.
That would happen.
That's what is exciting for her. She never eats her own stuff.
That's what would happen with my grandma. She would cook, and then when it was time to eat, she wouldn't eat, and we'd be like, "Grandma, why aren't you eating?" She's like, "Because I cooked."
Like I want you to enjoy.
And it wasn't just that. It wasn't just altruism. It's also because through like good cooks are constantly tasting to make sure that everything is right. And so she's like, I kind of don't have an appetite by the time I'm done,
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. I have no problem eating after I cook. So that just shows you I'm not a very good cook.
Yeah, during and after it, not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Also, did you cook? I will eat your food.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
No problem eating other people's food if they made it. Yeah. 100% with that. I'm even okay if you left some over and it's a little cold and I need to eat it up. I'll do that.
Was it yesterday? We'll eat.
I had leftover pasta for lunch today. Actually.
I had leftover pizza for breakfast.
Oh, that's the best breakfast.
Yeah,
it's so good. I didn't even heat it up.
Breakfast.
Pizza for breakfast. No, when I worked at Pizza Hut, that was my breakfast quite a few days. I would just take a pizza home from work, stick it in the fridge, have it the next morning.
So good.
Was that just extras, or did you actually just bake one for yourself?
I think I would just mostly bake one for myself, which we were allowed to do one 10-inch. We could do, or whatever the personal size was. Maybe it was 8-inch, but we could do one personal pizza for ourselves as part of our work meal. So I'd like cook one up, eat a slice or two there on my shift, and then take the rest home. Is there a strawberry and rhubarb pie recipe in the book? I don't think there is.
There is not, but I bet Linnell Lane would be happy to provide hers, which is a very good one. Mm-hmm.
We had Linnell Lane's strawberry rhubarb pie recipe in there for sure.
We call it strawberry rhubarb tart.
Tart. It's a tart. Very good.
It's a pie, but we call it tart. I don't know. That's just what we do. That's the way it goes. It is one of the best desserts known to man and womankind.
To humanity in general.
That's right. Yes. Ah, so good.
Yeah, I don't think we have any pie recipes in this edition of the cookbook yet. So we'll just have to do another one.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. All right. We'll get to work on that. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Patreon.com/DTNS to support the show. And please tell your friends to have a good day.
Good day, Internet.
Good day.